With the second chapter of your course book, The Puddle Monster. The author of this puddle monster is Ranjit Lal. This is the picture of Ranjit Lal. So this is actually a story about an 8-year child, Bholu, who though being well-mannered, turned into an ill-mannered child as the monsoon arrived. He loved splashing muddy water on others, making other clothes dirty, and compel others call him Bholu Shaitan. And seeing this, all puddles united to teach him a lesson. This is all about the story. So I'll be explaining you pairwise. Now read this story about a mischievous boy who loved splashing in muddy puddles. So mischievous means naughty. This story is about a naughty boy who loved splashing in muddy puddles. What is a puddle? Puddle actually is a small pool of water, especially in rain, right? That has formed on ground. Everyone said that Bholu was good, well behaved until the monsoons came. Then something strange and dreadful came over him. Strange means unexpected, and dreadful came over him. Dreadful means very bad. They called him Bholu Shaitan instead. Like most 8 years old boys, Bholu loved puddles. Or to be more exact, he likes splashing in them, which is okay. Splashing in water, it's okay. Splashing, if the child loves splashing in puddles, is okay because it is a natural phenomenon. Every child loves. But he likes splashing other people even better, which is not at all okay. So, he loves splashing muddy water on others, and this is not at all good. Second para. Come quickly, baby, he would call out to his pretty elder sister. So, he called his elder sister baby. There's beautiful butterfly in the garden just like you. He simply tried to butter her, saying that there's a beautiful butterfly in the garden just like her. And he would lead her right next to a huge puddle, pretending to look for the butterfly. So he pretended that he was just simply catching a butterfly, and then with great glee means with happiness, stamp in the puddle as hard as he could, spraying her with dirty muddy water. And then what he did, he stamped in the puddle as hard as he could. And then what happened? His elder sister, she was all dirty with the dirty muddy water. Whoosh, sploosh, splatter. Eek! Baby would scream, jumping back, gasping for breath. Her dress spattered and soggy. Baby always took great care to look beautiful all the time, and this made Bholu want to splash her all the more. So, with this behavior, baby, she just shouted because she was very much careful about her look. She always took a great care to look beautiful, and this made Bholu want to splash. He just wanted to make her dirty. No one was safe. Not Duffer the dog, not baby's friends, not the milkman or postman. Nobody was safe. Once Bholu even splashed his teacher, Miss Pinky, in the school playground. Actually, she looked more like Miss Brownie after that. So, he simply played with everyone. He splashed muddy water on everyone. Oops! Sorry, Miss Pinky, he said quickly. That was an accident. I thought there was a water snake in the puddle waiting to strike. So I had to stamp on it to save you. So simply he said to Miss Pinky that he was trying to save her as he thought there was a snake in the puddle. And he had smiled his baby face smile, which poor Miss Pinky could not resist. So he had a very innocent smile on his face, which Miss Pinky could not resist. Resist means protest. And so she forgave him. But the snake, now that gave him even a better idea. It was the day of baby's birthday party. And she had invited all her silly gilly friends who often teased Bholu till he was red in the face. And glory be, it had rained heavily that morning. There was a gigantic, humongous puddle just outside the gate under a shady mango tree. So that was a day when all the friends of baby came to attend the birthday party of his sister. So luckily it rained heavily and there was a gigantic puddle just outside the gate. Next para. At 4 o'clock, Bholu climbed the tree and positioned himself right above the puddle. So at 4 what he did? He just climbed the mango tree and sat there. 5 minutes later, baby's best friend Sheila came tripping delicately down the road in a dress that looked as if it had been made out of candy floss. So, baby's best friend Sheila, she came. So she was taking a great care of herself. As she carefully skittered the puddle, Bholu gave a blood-curdling yell and jumped up the tree. So, while crossing the road, she was taking great care. So, what happened? Bholu shouted, he screamed, he gave a blood-curdling yell. Yell means shout, and jumped out of the tree. Poor Sheila just stood there, the mud and slime dripping off her scrubbed face, her dress ruined. So Sheila, she was feeling very sorry. All the slime, all the mire was on her face, and even her dress was all destroyed. Then she screamed and fled homewards weeping. So she went back weeping. Bholu, the puddle monster, had struck. So she shouted that the puddle monster, Bholu, had struck. The next to arrive was Priya, Nina, and Lovely, three sisters who often teased Bholu mercilessly. So they always used to tease Bholu. Mercilessly meaning is pitilessly. Now up in the trees, his eyes gleamed. So Bholu was sitting on the mango tree. So now his eyes gleamed. Gleam means shine brightly. Revenge for all that teasing would be sweet indeed. He was thinking that now today is the day for him to take the revenge from them. He waited, and then as they drew alongside, the puddle jumped with another blood curdling. So he jumped again, shouting, and continued jumping up and down in it, but splattering them thoroughly from head to toe, all the time gleefully yelling, "Snake, snake, snake." So he shouted, saying, "Snake." So he simply wanted to fool them. Actually, his intention was to make them all dirty. But to be at the safest side, he shouted that he was trying to save them from the snake. "Wah!" spluttered Nina. "Help!" screeched Priya. "My dress!" sobbed Lovely, not looking lovely anymore. "You horrible boy!" wept Nina, looking down at herself. "I'm going to tell your mother." So she said, "Now I'm going to tell your mother." "Snake!" yelled Bholu Shaitan gleefully and bent and picked up something long and snake-like from the puddle. So Bholu said, "Snake," and saying this thing, he bent down to pick something long from the puddle. "Oops," he said, holding it up. "So sorry, it's a rope, not a snake." The monster had, of course, purposely put this rope in the puddle himself before climbing the tree, so on one could really blame him for splashing. He was, after all, trying to kill the snake and save them. So, Bholu tried to just fool them, saying that he was simply trying to save them. Hearing all the screams, baby came running out. So when all the three friends, they were screaming, baby came running out. "What happened?" she gasped, staring at her dripping friends, and then. So she just stayed at her dripping friends, and then understanding everything in a different way. Within a moment, she understood actually what the matter is. Said, you terrible shaitan, Bholu, just wait till I get my hands on you." But she couldn't, of course, because Bholu was standing smack in the middle of the puddle with his foot in place. Because now baby was very annoyed. She just wanted to hit Bholu, but Actually, Bholu was standing in the middle of the puddle, so she did not want it to go to him. I'm going to tell Mama, said baby just now. Silly baby should have, of course, gone straight in and told her mother. Instead, she paused. So she said that she's going to go and tell the mother. I think she should have not said this thing to Bholu. You see, exclaimed Bholu innocently. Now, Bholu said, I was only protecting your friends from mortal danger. So he simply said, I was just trying to save your friend from the mortal danger. What do you mean? You see this rope? Said Bholu, holding it up. It was lying in the puddle like this. He dropped the rope into the water and it looked just like a snake. I mean, anyone can see it looks like a cobra or a viper waiting to strike. So he simply wanted to clear that actually this was a snake and he was simply trying to save the life of his friend, right? Foolish baby and soaking Nina, Priya and Lovely leaned over the puddle to look at the rope. Yes, it did indeed look like a bit like a snake's. So these three friends, they were so innocent that they thought whatever the Bholu was saying was correct. And so they bent to see into it. They didn't see the Bholu's eyes gleam wickedly, but they did not see the shine in the eye of Bholu, the wicked shine. So, to save your friends from terrible death, I jumped on it and stamped it like this and this and this. And saying this, he again stamped into the puddle. Pachak, pachak, pachak. This time, all four of them got splashed right in the face. And with this, what happened? All the splash reached to their face. Right to all the face was soaked into the dirty water. Oops! Sorry, said Bholu, stifling a giggle. So, with a chuckle, he said, sorry, I did not believe you were so close by. So he said, actually, I did not see that you all are so close to me. This was the last straw. The puddle exclaimed, and now the puddle, they all were watching it and said, now this is out of control, out of tolerance, and they exclaimed angrily as Bholu stamped on it again and again. We puddles have to do something about the shaitan. Now the puddles were very angry and they said that now we have to teach a lesson to this Bholu shaitan. What? Asked a small puddle nearby. He nearly emptied me in just one jump. So one of the small puddle just told that he nearly emptied him in just one jump. He complained. Ah, it's raining again, said the big puddle with satisfaction. Now we can link our arms and do some planning. I'll tell you what to do. So the big puddle said, now all of you come together. We will join the hands and then I'll tell you a plan what to do. So it rained quite a bit during the night, but fortunately cleared up the next morning. Polo had his cricket match that day. He was the captain of his team and a terrific opening batsman as well. As captain, he was very particular that he was properly knitted out when he walked out to bat. Shirt, trousers, cap, shoes, socks, gloves, pad, arm guard, everything had to be absolutely spotless. You might think this was strange for someone who liked jumping in muddy puddles. But as Bholu loftily told his mother, I can't bat or lead the team looking like a ragamuffin. So he told his mother that he just don't want to go dressed in a dirty clothes or in torn clothes. So he was looking absolutely perfect, spotless. And now, all dressed up and knitted out, he stepped out of the gate to head for the playground a short distance away. He was late because his shoes had not been properly whitened and now he had just 5 minutes to get to the ground. So he was already late. He wanted to rush to the ground to start with this cricket match because his shoes were not properly polished. So he was waiting his shoes to be properly whitened and then he moved out of the house. Just outside the gate lay yesterday's huge puddle which today was looking bigger and deeper. Normally, Bholu would have just splashed happily through it. But now he knew he couldn't do that. He stayed at the coca brown water wondering how to get past and gasped. The grinning faces of baby, Sheila, Nina, Priya and Lovely were looking up at him from the depth of the puddle covered with mud. So now seeing the puddle, Bholi just simply wanted to move very carefully from it as he has to go to the ground to start with the cricket match. So he stood there and he took a breath. But what he saw in the puddle, he saw the grinning, the smiling faces of baby Sheila and Nina. Hi Bholu, come join us, Nina invited. It's real cool, sang Priya. And your clothes are so white, added Lovely. So lovely and white. Come on, Puddle brother. You're not afraid of mud and slime, are you? Then splash, Bholu splash, dimchak pachak. That was lovely again. I have a cricket match, Bholu stammered. Scared, booby. Here, I'll show you how, exclaimed Baby, and made it as if to grab his hand and pull him in. Yeah, help, yelled Bholu and stepped back hastily. Mud and slime, to your bed, muttered the Puddle. They did, and suddenly Bholu found himself skidding wildly and then sprawled flat on his back in the middle of the puddle. What a splash he made! So, what happened then? Nina, Priya, Lovely, they all just pulled Bholu inside the puddle, and Bholu found himself in the puddle, and all slime was on his face and on the clothes. Bholu, what are you doing lying down in the puddle? Isn't your cricket match on? So all of a sudden he heard a voice. Someone was asking, what you're doing here lying in the puddle? Isn't your cricket match? He looked up. Baby was standing at the edge of the puddle, neat and tidy as a pin as usual, her black eyes looking concerned. So now Bholu looked up and he saw that Baby was standing at the edge of the puddle and she was very neat and clean, as she was very much concerned about her neatness. But he could swear there was a sly smile on her face too. Now Bholu saw her face and thought to himself that he can take a swear that there was a cunning smile on her face too. So finally, they punished Bholu for his behavior, and hopefully Bholu might have changed after that. I think all of you like the story. So in the next video, I'll be just explaining the question answers.